In 1957, director Sidney Lumet made his explosive debut with the crime drama classic 12 Angry Men.
Ever since you walked into this room, you've been acting like a self-appointed public avenger. Shut up, you're a sadist.
Exactly 50 years later, after dozens of critically acclaimed feature films to his name, he dropped one final stick of cinematic dynamite into theaters. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, a powerful and uncompromising thriller that never lets up.
Are we good?
I don't think so, no! Shut up!
Incredibly, Lumet was 83 at the time of the movie's release in 2007. His direction is bold and confident. It's one final masterclass in filmmaking from a true legend. And it shows that age is just a number.
Bingo!
Sidney Lumet had a long, prolific career in Hollywood.
It's really the best job in the world.
After having lost the Best Director statuette 5 times, the Academy handed Lumet a consolation prize in 2005.
I'd like to thank the movies. I know that sounds general, but it's very real to me.
He was awarded an honorary Oscar in recognition of his brilliant services to screenwriters, performers, and the art of the motion picture. The same thing happened to his peer, Robert Altman. Both of them are legends of the American New Wave movement in the 1970s, often dubbed the New Hollywood. Lumet was known for social realism and complex characters. Among his eclectic credits are Serpico, Murder on the Orient Express, Dog Day Afternoon, Network, and The Wiz.
Ta-da!
Bet you weren't expecting that one. He churned out an impressive array of movies at a frenetic pace until the late 1990s. Lumet took a 7-year break and then returned to the big screen in 2006 with the comedy Find Me Guilty, about a gangster who defends himself in court. Lumet was always known for being an actor's director, and with this movie, he achieved the impossible, squeezing a good performance out of Vin Diesel.
Hi.
When production wrapped, Lumet could have just sailed into the sunset.
Movies are very exhausting physically.
But no, retirement? Forget about it. Lumet was reinvigorated as a director, and he was chomping at the bit for his next project. Fatefully, it would soon drop right into his lap. One random afternoon, he received an unsolicited screenplay in the mail from producer Michael Sorenzi. What is this? He thought to himself. It was Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, a gritty crime caper that explores the themes of family dysfunction, greed, and betrayal. Writer Kelly Masterson spent 7 years trying to get the project off the ground, and now finally, his script was in the hands of a big-time director. Lumet read it, loved it, and signed on.
The chances of a script arriving in an envelope and then winding up as your next picture is so rare that rarely that happened.
He got right to work, not wasting a second. You really don't mess around after 5 decades in Hollywood. Lumet will always be associated with New York City, the place where he grew up and shot most of his movies. New York is filled with reality, he said. Hollywood is a fantasy land. In order to achieve the kind of rough textured realism that he was looking for, he filled the cast with a bunch of accomplished stage actors, or theater rats as they're affectionately known.
Cinema is a director's medium, but theater is the actor and the writer's medium. And Sidney cares about that, which is why he gets along with actors and writers.
First on board was Philip Seymour Hoffman, who Lumet was dying to work with. He was given the choice of playing either of the 2 main characters, dominant, cold-blooded financial executive Andy Hansen, or his younger brother Hank Hansen, a struggling divorcee with a submissive personality. Naturally, Hoffman chose to be older brother Andy. Ethan Hawke would eventually take the other role. The rest of the cast consists of Marissa Tomei as Andy's long-suffering wife. Albert Finney and Rosemary Harris play their parents. And then there's Brian O'Byrne and Michael Shannon as a couple of inept criminals who get entangled into their lives. When Michael Shannon auditioned, he entered the room and uttered one line before being abruptly dismissed. He thought he had messed up the line or something. As he was getting ready to leave, he overheard Lumet telling the casting director, "That's who I want." He wasn't wasting any time. The man knew talent when he saw it.
Pretty fair all around.
The movie's narrative is presented in a non-linear fashion, jumping around in chronology and showing the action from multiple perspectives. It's an effective device that amps up the tension and keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Okay, great, yeah.
As for the plot, it goes like this.
Two brothers are one very dominating, the other one very dominated. Take off on this, what seems like perfectly simple, sad little scheme of ripping off their parents' jewelry store.
The movie opens with a bang, and then another bang. These two scenes illustrate quite viscerally what drives these characters: sex and money.
Oh, God. Oh.
Not necessarily in that order. At work, Andy is about to be revealed as an embezzler. So he hatches a desperate escape plan: rob his parents' jewelry store, fence the jewels, and then use the money to start a new life in Brazil. His easily manipulated brother Hank is also strapped for cash, so he enlists his help.
Easiest money well forget.
That's why you called me up. That's why you want to spend the day together talking me into something crazy.
Yeah, that's why I called you up. Talk you to something crazy.
The brothers believe they've conceived the perfect crime and the perfect solution to their problems. They'll get the jewels, and their parents will get the insurance. No real guns, and no real victims. But their plan backfires spectacularly. From here on out, the movie is a fast-moving train that never stops. Andy and Hank have to grieve their mom's death while hiding the fact that they are the ones who caused it. There's a routine police investigation that seemingly leaves them in the clear. However, their dad Charles suspects there's more to the story, and he obsessively pursues the truth, leading him down a dark and twisted trail. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is a harrowing portrait of a broken family.
I'm sorry. I wasn't able to be the father you wanted.
There are layers and layers of betrayal.
Just think. I know. It's too late to think.
Andy never felt appreciated by his parents.
You sure I'm your son?
They always favored Hank, who also happens to be younger, better looking, and sleeping with his wife Gina. While most people categorize this movie as a suspense thriller or a crime caper, Lumet preferred to call it a melodrama.
Kathy, you're not thinking of that other world now.
Smell the heather.
The term usually has a negative connotation because it brings to mind sensationalism and overacting, but he saw it differently. As he put it, in a well-written drama, the characters determine the story. In a melodrama, the story is going to determine the characters.
It was good to re-educate myself to what the meaning of that word, what it means, you know, that you're really dealing with heightened stakes and inevitability of tragic drama taking place.
Stupid piece of shit.
Stop talking to me like that.
Oh, what the fuck?
With each scene, Lumet ratchets up the intensity. The emotions are so raw, they practically bleed off the screen. One climactic moment involving Charles and Andy is especially painful to watch. Albert Finney delivers his lines with a haunting frigidity that sticks with you.
It's okay, Andy.
There are amazing performances all around. Lumet got the actors into the zone by having them rehearse extensively before shooting began. It was set up like a play, with everyone sitting around a table, reading through the script and carefully fleshing out the characters.
Right now, I gotta get into character. Right?
Then, after about 2 weeks of rehearsal, it was go time. The actual shoot was fast and loose.
You can be spontaneous and can throw things out and have new things happen on a set and have them happen quickly. We also worked at such a clip. You know, it was so quick. Almost always just being in character, not because you're being in character all the time, but because the next shot is up.
Reminiscent of some of those on-the-fly cinema verite productions of the 1970s. Except this production was way smoother because it cut out one important element that usually slowed things down. Film, as in film itself. Lumet saw the future and it was digital. He not only embraced the new technology, he preferred it. In his opinion, the modern high-definition cameras made for better picture quality with greater focal depth. They also made it easy to shoot from multiple angles, giving the actors a chance to react in real time, and allowing Lumet to capture happy accidents. Quote, "Anything you can get on film, I can get on high def. Quicker, easier, and with more control."
Just there's not a lot between you and that film. You know what I mean? He doesn't put you're really right inside that movie, and I think this film shows violence and all those things in a way that doesn't allow you to have the distance or the comfort.
Lumet handles the heavy material with ferocity and confidence. It absolutely would have been a different animal in the hands of another director. Right off the bat, he made one major change to the script. Originally, Andy and Hank were not related. By making them brothers, it immediately heightened the drama.
We're in trouble.
And although this film is highly stylized, it's never at the expense of the story. He adheres to the principle that form does follow function.
Great. Great.
For example, there's a scene where Andy goes to his drug dealer as his world is crumbling. The camera slowly dollies in on Andy as he bares his soul. It's done in a single take, and it's captivating.
All of my parts don't add up to one. Or to one me, I guess.
Get a shrink or a wife?
Oh, I got a wife.
Get a shrink.
It cannot be said enough that all the actors are terrific here. But the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman takes it to another level. He was no stranger to bringing tragic characters to life, from the enormously insecure Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman, to the very unhappy creep in Happiness.
What can I talk about? I have nothing to talk about. I'm boring.
Andy Hansen is right up there. He's loathsome, pathetic, vindictive, and violent. It's one of his best performances. He enhanced every line of dialogue he was given. If the script called for him to say shut up, he made it sing.
Shut up.
I loved her so much.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up!
Now that I think about it, it's kind of his signature.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Hoffman rips out his heart and wears it on his sleeve, and then he rips off the sleeve.
To act really well takes a tremendous amount of focus and concentration. It really does. There's a kind of sharpness of concentration that you have to hold over a period of time. That is really difficult to do. And so I find that I have to kind of go there. I have to kind of fully go there. I can't kind of half go there, 3/4 go there.
Right.
And if I'm half or 3/4, I'm really bad. There's no middle ground for me.
What more can you say about him as an actor? He's flawless. He's a master. Lumet was blown away by one scene in particular, where Andy has a breakdown.
It's not fair! It's not fair! No, Dad. Oh, God.
It's one of the most extraordinary scenes of acting that I've ever been involved with, and I've been involved with some pretty good ones.
And that's coming from the guy who directed Peter Finch in this memorable scene.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
High praise indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Devil hit theaters in October 2007, critics praised it as a return to form for Sidney Lumet. But there were also inevitable comparisons to his earlier work, like Dog Day Afternoon, the 1975 classic that also centers on a robbery gone wrong.
Freeze! Nobody move! Get over there! Okay.
And this movie sort of got lost in the shuffle between two other dark films that would also come out that fall, There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men. Both of those would go on to dominate the awards season and become cultural touchstones.
I drink your milkshake.
As time goes by, I hope more people discover this melodramatic gem of a thriller.
Yeah.
It's not just a great movie for a veteran director in the twilight of his career. It's a great movie for any director. If a young first-time filmmaker had made it, people would have said, wow, what an exciting debut. Sidney Lumet honed his craft over the course of 5 decades in the business. He knew how to make movies. I mean, he literally wrote the book on it.
How is a movie made? What are the steps? Who's involved? What are their jobs? On both a creative level and a technical level. Okay.
And it's a testament to his talent that his last movie is as good as his first one. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think it's fitting that I close out with a special toast. May your glass be ever full. May the roof over your head be always strong. And may you be in heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
This is you that's talking.
Believe it. So it's safe. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody wins. It's perfect.